Welcome to this tutorial on fractions. I'm Teacher Holton. So let us start off, which is very important, with what the Word of God says in Psalm 34, verse 4. It says, I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. So there are three key things that we should note here. The first is we should always focus on the bigness of our God and not the bigness of our problems. The scripture says that once you continue to seek God, he will hear you and answer your prayers. You must be persistent, and of course, your prayers must line up with the divine will of God for your life. Finally, God can deliver us from all our fears, including the fear of math, if that applies to you. God is indeed a great God, and we thank him for his word. So this worksheet on fractions is really a drill just to ensure that we have all our techniques correct. So let's begin with question number 1. You are given two fractions in the numerator, and then you have to find the sum of two fractions in the denominator. So it's always a good idea to work our numerator first. So in multiplying fractions, we multiply first our numerators and then our denominators. So let's write out that answer. Right, so this one will give us 3 2s are 6 divided by 30. And of course, this could be reduced to 1/5. So let us now work out the sum of these two fractions. Once you're given mixed numbers, I prefer to convert my mixed numbers into an improper fraction. So 1 and 2/3 is really 5 divided by 3, and we are adding 3 to that. So my LCM here will be 24, and just in case you're not clear how I got 24, you can use this method where you start off with the smallest factor that can go into your numbers. In this case, it's 2. And you continue dividing all the way down until you end up with 1 and 1. In other words, you can no longer go further with your division. So 2 by 2 is 4 2s are 8 3s are 24. Now, you do not always get the lowest common multiple by simply multiplying your denominators. So you need to at least try a method like this to get your LCM. Okay, so 24 divided by 3 is 8 by 5 is 40, plus 24 divided by 8 is 3 3s and 9. So this is equivalent to 49 over 24, which we can write. Yes, you can keep your answer as 49 over 24, which we're going to put below here. Now, always check back. Just to be certain, we all make mistakes, right? So 24 is the LCM, 3 into 24 is 8 5s are 40, 3 3s are 9, 49 over 24, right? So this problem here, we did say 6 over 30 is 1/5. This could be written as 1/5 divided by 49 over 24. So I'm confident that you can see what's happening here now. When you are dividing, your next step, of course, will be to change our division sign to a multiplication sign, and you put your 24 over 49 here. Right, so there isn't anything that can really cancel. So this final answer will be 24. And let's work out that product there. 49 by 5. Right, so that's 245. Okay, so that looks like the answer for question number 1. Now, of course, if I make any mistakes and I did not realize that, you can always send me a message and I'll fix it in a subsequent video. All right, so let's go to question number 2. Again, we have use of brackets, always important in the order in which you perform your operation. So always work your brackets first. So the first pair of brackets here, 2 1/4 divided by 1 5/6. So again, express these numbers as improper fractions. So this first one will be 9 divided by 4, 2 1/4, 9 divided by 4, and you are dividing this by 1 by 6 is 6 and 5, 11 over 6. Right, so as we just saw there, this is the same thing as 9 over 4 multiply by 6 over 11. So yes, 2 can go into 6, 3, 2 can go into 4, 2. So this becomes 27 over 22. So that's our answer for the first part here. All right, let's work 1 2/3 square. Again, this 1 2/3 is the same thing as 5 divided by 3. And remember, we are squaring this. This simply means you are multiplying that 5 over 3 by itself. So this will give us, as our final answer, 25 over 9. So this problem becomes a subtraction. Yes, it's a subtraction. So we're going to subtract 25 over 9 from 27, right? So we did work out this. This is 27 over 22. All right, so seems as though our answer will be negative, but let's still work it. 22 and 9, right? So the LCM here in this case will be 22 by 9. Let's work that here. 22 by 9. Okay. That's 198. Right, so remember you got 198 by multiplying 22 by 9, huh? So if you divide 190 divided by 22, you will get 9. So 9 by 27, let's work out that. Right, so the answer there will be 243. And then you are taking away, remember we got 198 by multiplying 22 by 9. So 198 divided by 9 will give us what? 22. So 22 by 25. Right, so when you're doing these multiplication, of course, you use your calculator. That's 550. And then, of course, we are subtracting 243. We are taking away 550 from 243. That will give us the negative result for the answer. So it will be negative, and let's do that. So, right, so it's 243 subtracting 550. Right, that's minus 307. Right, so you could leave your answer here, 307, just like this. You need not worry too much to express it as a mixed number. Right, so again, I'm hoping that there isn't any error in my working, right? So I'm confident, I'm trusting God that we got the answer there. All right, so we take it on question number 3. Right, so again, don't focus on the bigness of the problem, focus on the bigness of your God. So let's go with that. 3 and 1/3 minus 1 and 5/8. So let's express 3 and a third. So we are working the numerator first. That is 10 divided by 3. And we are subtracting 1 and 5/8. 1 by 8 is 8 and 5, 13 over 8. Right, so as we saw just now, the LCM here would be 24. 3 into 24 is 8 by 10 is 80. 24 divided by 8 is 3 by 13 is 39. So we are subtracting. This will give us 51 over 24. Right, so always double check. 24, 8, 8 by 10, 80. 24 divided by 8, 3 by 13 is 39. 51 and 39 gives us the 80. 80 minus 39, 51. Okay. Right, so we solved this part. So this is really 51 over 24. And we're going to be dividing that by the answer for this numerator here. So let's see if we can get that answer. So 1 3/4, again, write as, yes, an improper fraction. 1 by 4 is 4 plus 3, 7 divided by 4. That's 1 3/4. Multiply by 1 and 1/3. 1 by 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4 over 3. So again, we're multiplying that by 4 over 3. This gives us 28. Right, look, our 4 can cancel out easily here. So this will reduce to 7 over 3. Right, so we are dividing this by 7 over 3. And I know you know, when you are dividing there, you have to invert at 7 over 3 and change your sign to multiplication. So it's 3 sevens. 3 into 3, 1, 3 into 24, 8. Okay, so this boils down nicely to 51 over 8 by 7 is 56. Right. So now I know some of us are very competent with the calculator and we can input these sums straight into the calculator to get an answer. Nothing is wrong with that. So it's always a good idea to use your methods to compare, but you cannot use that calculator approach to solve any problem because the instruction says find the exact value of each of the following without using a calculator. So you have to show the working. You can use the calculator to verify your answer, right? And where necessary, express it in the lowest terms as indicated here. Okay, so we are going very nicely in terms of solving these problems. We are on question number 4 already. So let's see what happens here. So it is 4 and 2/5. And we are subtracting 3 and 1/8. So let's do that. 8 5s are 40. 4 5 no, is 4 by 5 is 22. 4 and 2/5 is 22 over 5 minus 3. It's a 24 and 1, 25 over 8. Right, so the LCM here will be 40. 5 4s are 20 and 2 is 22 over 5. 25 over 8. Right, so it's always a good idea to keep checking back. You don't want to make a mistake very early in solving the problem and have to redo the entire sum. Okay, so there you go. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 8 by 22. That looks like 116. Let's double check that. 116. 8 by 22. Is that correct? No, it's 176. So you see, even I make mistakes. So it's 176. Yes, because 20 by 8 is 160 and 8 by 2 is 16. So it will be 176. All right, so 40 divided by 8 is 5. I know this one. 5 by 25 is 1, 2, 5. Right, so do not be afraid to use your calculator. Let's verify that. Subtracting 176 minus 125. Okay, so we got an answer of 51 there. 51 over 40. That's our first part. Okay, so where are we? We are here. So this will give us 51 divided by 40, and we are dividing this by 5/12. So we can multiply this one time by 12 over 5. Right. Okay, so we are going pretty good. This one didn't take us so long. We can divide this one by 4, 3, and we can divide this by 4. This will give us 10. Right, so we are asked to reduce it. The answer that is today's lowest term. So 51 by 3, that will be 153. And 10 by 50, 10 by 5, sorry, is 50. Okay, so we can leave it like that. 153 over 50. All right, so again, number 5. All right, so let's fix this. This is 4 multiplied by, so let's eliminate this minus sign right here. Right? So let's go straight into our working column. So we are working out 2 and 5/8 plus 3 and a quarter. Right, so I'm going with my mixed numbers. Okay, let's try the other approach just for, in the event that you would have worked it like that. Right, so 3 and a quarter. Right, yes, you can add your whole numbers first. So this will give us 5 here. 3 plus 2, 5. The LCM here. So remember the point I was making earlier, you don't just multiply the two numbers to give you 32 and say that's your LCM. No. In this case, the LCM would be 8, right? Okay, you're asking how I got 8. Let me show you. So you have 8 and 4 as the denominators. Now, usually we'll start off with 2 ever, but you notice you could have divided by 4 right there. But let's go to 2. This will give us 4. Then you go with 2 again. This is 1. This is 2. Then you go with 2 again, divided throughout. You get 1 and 1. So when you multiply 2 by 2 by 2, you get 8 as the LCM. Okay, 8 divided by 8 is 1 by 5 is 5. 8 divided by 4 is 2 by 1 is 2. So this gives me 5 and 7/8 as my answer for 2 and 5/8 plus 3 and a quarter. Right, so this one up here is 5 and 7/8 as the numerator. Right, let's work with our denominator now. So this is 4 multiplied by 3 and 2/3. Okay, we can work that right here. This is 4 over 1 multiplied by 3 and 2/3. Let's convert that to an improper fraction. 3 3s are 9 and 2 is 11 over 3. Right, so this will give us 44 over 3. Right, 4 by 11, 1 by 3. So it's 44 over 3. Let's double check. 4 over 1, 3 3s are 9 and 2, 11 over 3. 44 over 3. Okay, so right. So the sum becomes 5 and 7/8 divided by 44 over 3. Right. So this is where working with the improper fractions become useful. Again, we have to convert this. This 5 by 8 is 40 by 8 plus 7 is 47 over 8. And we are multiplying by 3 over 44. Right. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything that can simplify any further in terms of reducing the numbers here by cancellation. Right, so this becomes 47 by 3. Let's work on that first. And the denominator will be 8 by 44. 47 by 3. Right, so this will be 141. Let's work out the 8 by 44. All right, let's cancel that 8 by 44 by 352. Right. Now, some of these numbers looking a little strange in terms of the answers, but don't worry. Once you would have worked it correctly, we should agree that we have the same answers. All right, so 2 more sums and then we are finished with this tutorial. You can take a break after, have a nice snack. Okay, so let's make some room here for question number 6. Right, let's take it out. Right, so question number 6 is asking us, we need to determine the order of the operations here. You saw that? You have division, you have subtraction, so which one comes first? Do we divide or do we subtract first? All right, so whether you are using PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, and so on, the order of the operations, either using parentheses, exponents, multiplication, PEMDAS, division, addition, subtraction, right? Or using BODMAS, BODMAS. Right, in both cases, division comes before what? Subtraction. So we are asked to divide these two first, and then the answer we get, we'll perform the subtraction. Let's see what happens here. So 2 and 2 nines. Again, improper fractions. 9 twos are 18 and 2 is 20 over 9. And you are multiplying this by 45 over 22. Right, so we can cancel this out. Watch how the 9 could cancel easily. This could go into 45 5 times. We can go 2 here. This is 10, and this is what? 11. Right, so let's double check that. 9 twos are 18 and 2, 20 over 9 multiplied by 45 over 22. 9 could go into 45 5. 2 into 20, 10, 2 into 22, 11. So this is really 50 over 11 right here. Okay, so that's that. And of course, we are subtracting now 4 and 1/6. So, all right, so let's, okay, for illustration's sake, I want us to do this 2 ways. Now, it's not to give us more work, but I just want to see how it will turn out. So this one here is 4 11s are 44 and 6 over 11, right? So let's go with that approach first. Let's take 4 and 6 over 11, and we subtracting 4 and 1/6, right? Are you still following? This answer is the part that gives us the 4 and 1/6, so that's what I wrote first. And I'm subtracting from that 4 and 1. 4 and 6 11, and subtracting 4 and 1/6, right? Okay, so let's work out this. Right. So what's the LCM? The LCM would be 11 by 6, 66. Now your 4 minus 4 will give us 0. 66 divided by 11 is 6 by 6 is 36. Here, 66 divided by 6 is 11 by 1 is 11. So this answer will be 25 over 66 using this first approach where you're working with the mixed numbers. Right. So let's take out this one and let's use the second approach. Remember, the answer is 25 over 66. Should get the same answer with the second approach, right? So second approach is going to use the right? Improper fractions here now. So we tackling this first part is the 50 over 11, and we are subtracting 4 and 1 6, which is really 6 4s are 24 and 1 25 over 6. Right, and of course, let's see our LCM here is 66. How we got that? 11 by 6, 66 divided by 11 is 6 by 50. That's 300. Right, 6 divided by 66 divided by 6 is 11 by 25. Let's work out that. 11 by 25. Right, that's 275. Right, so again, we got the same answer. When you perform the subtraction here, you're going to get the 25 over 66. All right, so you take your pick, whichever one is comfortable for you, whichever method, either with the mixed numbers or with the improper fractions. I tend to be biased towards the improper fractions in terms of solving these problems, right? Okay, so question number 7. So we are seeing the light at the end of this tunnel in this terms of the work in these problems. Right, so let's go with question number 7. Again, work brackets first, so let's work that. Right, brackets. 3.5. That is 3 2s are 6 and 1 7. Right, so remember, we're multiplying here, so we use any improper fraction. 3.5 is 7 over 2. And we are multiplying this by 2 and 3/5, which is 13 over 5. Right, so 2 5s are 10 and 3, 13. 13 by 7. Okay, let's do some multiplication here. 7 3s are 21. 7 1s are 7 and 2, 9. So 13 by 7 is 91 over 10. Right, so that's what we got for this part here. And I did say I'm biased towards my what? Improper fractions. But let's try something here. Let's try something here. Let's use the 5 tens of 53 first. Let's use the improper fractions and solve this. So this first part is 50 and 3 is 53 over 10. So this is saying 53 divided by 10, which is the 5 and 3 tenths. We are now subtracting 91 over 10. Right. So this works out nicely, because you have the same denominator. So we know the answer will be over 10, and we simply subtract two numbers on top here, 53 minus 91, keeping the denominator as 10. So let's see what that will give us. That should give us minus 38 over 10. Right? Or if you wish, you don't have to, minus 3 and 8 tenths. All right, so let's make sure that is that 58 and 30, 53 plus 38. Let's make sure it's 91. Right, it is 91. Nice. Okay, I'm just thinking out loud here. So we know it's 3 minus 38 over 10, or minus 3 and 8 tenths. All right, what if we had used, let's see if we can get that same answer. What if we had used the mixed number approach in solving that, working out that subtraction? Let's see how it goes. Right, so what we would have written down here now. So this is 5 and 3 tenths. And right, so I just want to show you how it could be a bit complicated. This is 9 and 1 tenth sometimes. So you see in the challenge one time, you are being asked to subtract this. Right, so what do we do? Well, let's see. It's difficult to take away 9 from 5. In reality, of course, but in mathematics, it isn't. So when you do that subtraction, you're supposed to get -4 here. And let's see, what do we do? The LCM is 10. So this becomes 3 take away 1. Right, so this is -4 and 2/10. Now, you realize we didn't get that at all. We didn't get that at all just now. We got, if I remember correctly, when we work this method, I'm going to do it again quickly for us here. 5/10. Now we need to make sure that we can make those two answers correspond one and the other be the same thing. So let me remind you what we got. Right? I'm also reminding myself. When we worked that problem just now, using the mixed numbers, not the mixed numbers, the improper fractions approach, we got something like this. So, right. This is 53 over 10 minus, and this part here was 91 over 10, right? And this gives us minus 38 over 10, right? Now let's correspond that first. Now -4. Now what this really means, now this is not the answer, -4 and 2/10 or -4 and 1/5. When you have a minus sign here, which is negative, and this part being positive, right? Because it is positive 2/5. What this really means is -4 over 10 is really -40 over 10, right? And then you are adding to that your 2 over 10. Now, of course, this reduces to -40 plus 2, right? Let's remove this. Right, over 10. And of course, this is going to correspond now to the -38 over 10, which is what we got here using the other method. Okay, so I think that's enough food for thought for us. Thank you so much for staying throughout the entire video in terms of our tutorial solutions for fractions. And of course, this has been brought to you courtesy the project of the Math Ministry called the Art of Math, which is on www.maths123.org. So I'll see you next time. Take care.